If you've never seen Kamen Rider Forze, it's a great show. I suggest you go watch it. There is a point, and this will be without spoilers, in the narrative where the meta commentary of the show uh, basically claims that somebody else has taken over the show, and they don't refer to it as Kamen Rider Forze. They refer to it by another name, and I got a big kick out of that at the time, and it reminded me of, or this episode of Zero-One reminded me of it. This is MJ, I love Tokusatsu, and right now I want to talk about Kamen Rider Zero-One episode 18, which I forgot to look something up to refer to it as. I do want to start off with what's new and let you know that the Raid Riser belt has been introduced, and it allows humans to become Magear as well. A mysterious womanly figure gives one to Tachibana, who is the master florist who, I don't know, Sakuyo learned from, I believe. Anyway, he's so upset about losing, he's so upset about losing and the fact that, his reputation is on the line and whatnot, that he doesn't want to lose his human gear, and then she presents him this thing to protect his heart, and he uses it, and it turns him into a buffalo Magear, I guess. Yeah, buffalo Magear. And pretty interesting design. I kind of think when that actor got turned into one, or the acting human gear got turned into one, it shares similar suit components. Yuya Takahashi was the writer on this one, just like the last episode, and Nakazawa Shojiro as well, and it's called, the episode's like, This Is My Floristry, or something like that. Anyway, just wanted to, because I've been caught in the complaining when it was Riku Sancho writing for Takahashi instead. So anyway, someone with a better eye than me, and patience and the gumption to go do it, can do that, and I'd be happy to hear in the comments, if that was true or not. Anyway, Thouser, or rather AMATSU guy, transforms, and he goes ahead and he fights this new Magear, and he wants his buffalo progress key back because it got stolen. This is the one that got stolen from the other episode, and anyway, he wanted it back, and he fought the guy without issue. He had no qualm fighting a human turned into a Magear, and Aruto did have a problem with it, which is why this episode is jokingly entitled "That's a Show by AMATSU," because Aruto wasn't really in. Well, I mean, he was in this episode, and he did have a struggle. And this is not me attacking Aruto Hiden, because I don't really care. What I am emphasizing or focusing on is the fact that I think it's interesting that AMATSU guy is stepping up into this role as a extra writer. He's a separate, sort of separate writer faction. He doesn't work for Ames. I guess Yaiba is now under his umbrella or whatever, purview perhaps, I don't know, as a Zaya employee. But in the episode, Isamu attacked Yaiba, and there was a little fight between Thouser and Vulcan. So I'm not really sure what's going on, but it was interesting that while Aruto was frozen, so upset that a human was turned into a Magear, and not wanting to hurt the human in defeating him, similar to how he originally didn't want to fight and hurt the human gear who had been turned into Magear. He has a similar moral quandary, and it's interesting. Matsu guy has no conflict. He just goes ahead and fights the guy. He ends up fixing the situation. He purifies him, so to speak, and Tachibana is able to come to his senses after he's been defeated. And I don't know how I feel about all this. It's an interesting concept. It's very difficult to get a read on Matsugai. I liked in the beginning of the episode, we learned that because there was this accusation of cheating on Tachibana's part, which he did in fact cheat, but because of the cheating, that guy wanted to redo the match. And then I think, one more time at the end of the episode, after Tachibana has been healed or whatever, they set the match one more time, and he actually wins this time from doing such a good job. And it's interesting to think, or there was an interesting side focus on kind of like the state of the human heart, or the heart of the artist, or oh gosh, something like that. It's a little bit escaping me, but it's interesting that once Tachibana was clear of this stuff, and you know what, I'm pretty sure he was still using the Zaya spec, otherwise it wouldn't have mattered that he won. But kind of once his heart was clear and he was working with the proper intention and really pursuing the love of his craft and doing the best he could do, that's when he won. And it's interesting because there's an intimation that, you know, Magear have hearts too, and that matters. And I said in my last review that it's interesting that we have I'm losing the thread here. We have I don't remember what I said now, but it was interesting, I promise you that. I don't really remember what point I was making, but it was probably going to be about singularity and Magears and people being the same. So if a Magear can go bad without having a Extinction Rise belt on them or whatever, it's just a it's just another dimension adding to their humanity, because humans can also go evil or have evil within them, just like we saw the Raid Rise belt and whatever, you know, was able to turn him into a Magear. That's what I was talking about. Both humans and Magear can technically become Magear, or you know, malefic humans or whatever. And I mean, we saw that dialed up to the, you know, we saw that you know, put out to the fullest in this episode. So I think it's an interesting thing, and I would suspect that the next few Magear that we're going to see are going to be, you know, these Raid Riser Magear. And it'll be, you know, the people in the competition. So what, we got 4 more people to go through, and are we going to do them in single episodes, or are they each going to get 2? We'll see. Anyway, I forgot to mention that AMATSU guy is 45 in the show. There's this weird back and forth, there's like a joke, and then there's not a joke. The joke is that he says he's eternally 24, because in the picture from 12 years ago, he looks exactly the same as he did. This is the picture with Kornosuke Hiden. I finally remembered his name. Anyway, and then Izu is able to look at him and examine with her, you know, Magear capabilities, that he's actually 45 years old. And then he says something about how youth is, he says something, he doesn't say youth is disdainful, but he kind of suggests it. He says something about like your skin, your arrogance, your, I don't know, self-righteousness or something like that. Like all those things are things that he doesn't like about youth. But I guess 24 years old isn't youthful. Maybe he means like 18, like isn't Naruto 18? Anyway, I don't know. It was a very strange comment, and then he walked away. And I think even Izu said, like, what did the president mean when he said that? And I have no idea what he means either. He clarifies, though, that, because Naruto asks him, because they have a conversation about these things, he clarifies that he thought Kornosuke Hiden was mistaken in utilizing AI as something that stands alone from humanity, or stands aside from humanity, to help humans improve their lives, and that he's focused on forcing or using AI to make humans evolve, or to help humans evolve. And in his henshin, it says extinction, evolution, and I guess I just thought, like, oh, that's life and death. You can either be extinct or you can evolve and survive or whatever. But I almost think that since he is focused on using artificial intelligence to help humans evolve, it's not so much that, you know, you can teeter between life and death and, you know, grow and become stronger, but like his focus is on evolution. And gosh, I don't know what that's about. I have a hard time pegging the guy as evil just yet, because he seems so honorable, and like he didn't want to win with you know, Tachibana fighting. But then again, I don't know, the whole thing about the Buffalo Progress key having been stolen and he wanted it recovered, and you know, then he got it back. I don't know, Hirobi and Jin were satisfied that these you know, keys that they were using were you know, after the Magear had been destroyed or dealt with, they would recover them and then use data to recover you know, the Ark. So is there some sort of scheme like that going on here too? I don't know. It could be. He didn't seem happy when he got the progress key back, other than he had it back. He certainly didn't say anything about data, so I don't really know where this is going, and I am keeping in the back of my mind that thing he said about like this new era of Kamen Riders, but maybe he means that Kamen Riders will be like the vehicle for the next level of human evolution, especially because we've seen how powerful the standard riders, the first wave of riders, are in this show, and then he is 1000% stronger than them. So I don't know, maybe he's just presenting himself as the next, like he's presenting himself as the model of the next stage of human evolution, and he's going there first. So I don't know, it's kind of neat, kind of interesting. I wouldn't be shocked to find out at some point that he's like a cyborg, or he's fused some AI, some sort of AI technology to his body permanently in an attempt to do that. So that'd be kind of neat, especially because there's conflict between people who love Magears or you want to protect them, and people who want to destroy them. He's like, look, I'm both. So let's fuse into one entity. I think that's all I have to say. I like this episode. I like the fighting. Oh, I forgot to mention, his weapon is called the blade jacker or something like that, and he literally jacks or steals your progress keys. It was really funny with Isamu when he was like, I've stolen your wolf's technology and I'm using it against you. And I don't know. I like Isamu. Fua as a character. The actor is fine or whatever. But for some reason, just the what they have his character do, I'm really happy to see him get trounced. I'm happy to see him get trashed a little bit. It all makes me happy. And that fight between Vulcan and Valkyrie was pretty fun. But I don't really have anything else to say, so I'm going to go ahead and cut out there. Did you like the Vulcan Valkyrie fight? Do you like seeing Fua get trashed? Where do you think AMATSU guy is going? And what could this next level of human evolution be? And then let's do some speculation. Who do you think the hooded figure is, given people the Raid Rider keys? I think it's Shesta or Zesta or whatever her name is, the red counterpart to Izu, because she's supposed to be a guide to humanity, and I feel like she said that, or that's what Magears are. Anyway, MJ Loves Joker can be found on YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and mjmunoz.com/MJLT. Check out mjmunoz.com for my other review series, another Rider Cast, King of Hearts, Queen of Sorrows, where I talk about Mobile Fighter G Gundam, and the Going Ultra series, where I talk about SSSS.Gridman, as well as the Ultraman anime, and Ultra Fight Galaxy, New Generation Heroes, and I'll be talking about Season 2 of Ultraman on Netflix when that comes out. And then I've got the original Ultraman series DVDs I'd like to get into at some point. Just, I'm doing too much, and I got to focus on writing and doing other stuff for myself in my life. So anyway, but I'm going to keep up on different stuff, and I'll update you as those things change. Anyway, you can also find my writing projects over there, and I'm actually working on one of those right now too. So it's kind of exciting. If you love what I do and you want to support me, my Ko-fi and Redbubble accounts have you covered. Relevant links are below. If you had a good time, like, share, and leave a comment. Subscribe and ring that bell to stay current on weekly Zero-One reviews. And remember, you don't have to shout Henshin to be a hero.